Good morning. How are you? Today is the 8th of March, 2022. I'm staring at the camera real closely just in case complaints come back. She didn't look at the camera enough. Let me stop playing with y'all. Okay, good morning. Happy International Women's Day. And I salute today Florence Nightingale for her transforming the nursing industry in her revelation of the fact that her patients weren't even dying on the battlefield. They were actually dying in the hospital. So she had to tighten up her ship to have more lives kept and preserved. And she did that dynamically, and the world knows her for her excellency in, again, improving nursing care. Okay. Congratulations also to all of the participants of the WJZ Black History Oratory competition. The competitor that really stood out for me and warmed my heart was Mr. Griffin. And so thanks again to all, I think it was 17 participants. Burnt my toast this morning. I'll talk about that later, but it's looking really rough. So I ate half of it, couldn't eat the rest. So had too much on my mind, so I wasn't paying attention to the toaster. Let me transition into why I am putting this little video together today. And I'm going to entitle it, What Had Happened Was. You know, that's what they say in the entertainment industry in this generation. Now, let me explain what had happened was. So, a few years ago, I was dating a gentleman. Not just a few years ago. It was a while back. And the time and the years will fall into place once I tell you the story. And in dating the gentleman, I was riding down the street in the car with him. He plops in a cassette tape, already dating myself. And as he does so, I'm listening to the cassette for several minutes. And I finally look at the gentleman and I say, who's that? And he says to me, that's Jamal Bryant. You don't know who that is? Everybody knows Jamal Bryant. Stop playing with me. You know who that is. I can't believe you say you don't know who Jamal Bryant is. I said, no. I mean, the word coming forth off the little cassette there sound pretty good, but no, I don't know who that is. He says, yeah, child, he looking for a wife. I said, looking for a wife? What you telling me that for? Why would you divulge that information to me? You know, but I was in the season where I had an understanding that's not why you go to a church. If you're going to a church, you really should be going there to get the word of the Lord. So that was my position at the time, was I'm not going to no church or visit no church because I'm looking for a husband. That's not where I'm at in my walk with the Lord. So eventually, months later, after I found out JayMal had gotten the woman of his dreams, his wife, then I said, okay, it's time now to go visit Empowerment Temple. So in showing up to Walbrook Senior High, home of the Warriors, and uh, enjoying myself my first visit to Empowerment Day, having to step across some picketers. When I showed up, nice, glorious, wonderful, beautiful weather day, and showing up for my first visit. But I was challenged by the fact that all these picketers with picket signs were marching up and down whatever that, I guess it was Walbrook Junction Street or whatever. Pimp in the pulpit, pimp in the pulpit. Messages like that on the sign. And I'm just looking, well, just based upon the word that I heard on a little cassette, which was very edifying to me. Stepped right on over the little picket line and went in fellowship and had a good time and wound up staying for a while. But again, that was not my goal in attending Empowerment Temple. I was already in the church as a member where that particular pastor would talk about it some other time. I was disappointed by some stuff. So, again, I wanted to have the right mindset in fellowshipping. So, a few months, years go past, and was on the choir at Empowerment Temple, and just serving, as well as giving my bread. I'm breaking off large sums of my offerings and things of that nature, church visits from other pastors coming in, and just things that churches do, guest speaker this, guest speaker that. And so let me get back on track here. I eventually went to JayMal for some assistance in my own financial challenges. And again, years pass, and JayMal says, I can't help you. And I said, huh? Why? He says, I can't help you because I'm getting a divorce, for one, and I'm losing my members in the church. And so I was a little brokenhearted that he couldn't assist. But after assessing that he couldn't assist me, sitting in the car, whatever, I was a little heated because, you're getting a divorce because you had a mistress and you was keeping some female on the other side of town or whatever the situation was behind that. And I'm like, this is where my money was going to. Maybe if I had kept my little change and paid my bills and did what I wouldn't even had to come to him anyway. So I was very, very disappointed. And that being said, still some time went past. I was in MIT, Ministers in Training, because I think all the members at that time were upset and wondering, do we stay? Do we go? What do we do in this situation? There were members of the church that were just, we were left in a state of shock. And what do you do when a pastor has shown that type of character? Of course, some people would have said, yeah, you stay past all of the drama and you stay faithful. And other people say, no, that man ain't doing what he's supposed to do. He's not the great representative of God that he's claiming to be. So, a lot of split decisions there of whether to stay in Empowerment Temple or not, or go. So some time would pass. Tuesday night Bible study. I show up for Tuesday night Bible study, and JayMal is preaching. The Lord told him that everybody in the congregation seemed like to me, looking over at me, straight at me. The word of the Lord tonight is you don't get no help. God said you don't get any help. No help. No help. You know how the preachers do. And that's what the word of the Lord is. You supposed to be the caterpillar turning into the butterfly. And when you go in that cocoon, nobody's supposed to be able to help the butterfly transform into the caterpillar turn into the butterfly, because if you help the transformation, you'll kill the butterfly. So you gotta stay. So he doing this big analogy of butterflies and why people in the audience don't get any help. That's what God told him to tell the audience. No help. No help. No help for you. You don't get any help. Then, right after he finished the message, he turned around and said, now, I got a $800,000 roof I need to get repaired. This roof, it is rough. And if we don't get it repaired soon, all y'all going to be sitting on the parking lot. We're going to be sitting on the parking lot having church. And so the irony was he had an $800,000 roof to get repaired, and he started asking for help from us. Give me a 500, give me 100, give me 2,000, give me 1,000, give me whatever you can give, because we got to get this roof fixed. But excuse me, sir, you just told us we don't get any help. But now you turn around asking for help with your offering a request. That don't add up. So that didn't sit right with me. Couple of months back, go past again. Now he's talking about, when this is Sunday, he's talking about, I'm not going to be here Tuesday night, but I'm bringing in a guest speaker. When on Sunday, he's talking about, I'm so important. The world needs me. I'm Global JayMal. Everybody needs Global JayMal. I got to go to California. TBN needs me over there to help do what TBN does. So I'm really, really important. But you all get your hind parts out here on Tuesday night, and you get in them seats and let the guest minister speak to you all. I'm bringing in a great prophet, and he's going to be there while I'm at TBN in California. But y'all make sure y'all get out here in them seats. Come out in the seats. We fill up Tuesday night. The prophet speaks a good message, good enough, very encouraging. It was a good word. However, when he finishes, now he's pulling money up off of the audience. How many people in here, he said, stood on one side of the church doing like this? And like, don't do that. Don't number the people like that. Now that's the steward, and I was glad to see the steward do like this. Don't do that. And so someone on the other side of the church said it's 2,200 some people in here. So the prophet eyes get big. He started numbering how much money he wanted to come down to the altar. So for offering, the prophet pulls $50,000 off the audience that night. I say, what? Yeah. So he like 100. Bring 20 here. The people going to give me 100. Here the people going to give me 50. Going down the numerical amounts to get the substantial amount that he wanted to pull based upon numbers. Now I understood that. I thought that David got in trouble in the Old Testament for doing that, because God would be like, you think you're doing it in your numbers when you're doing it in the power that I'm giving you to have the victory. So he would cut armies down from size. 10,000 people. No, y'all ain't going in with 10,000, because then I won't get the credit for giving you the victory. Cut it down 300 people or so for your army size. Then you'll know I gave you the victory. You're not getting the power out of because you think you bad because you got all these numbers and people. No, it's not going down like that. But he did it anyway. $50,000. It was a three-day conference. So you pulling that type of money off of Baltimore, $50,000 a night, 3-day conference. No wonder they talking about, we need a new revival. We need a new revival. So I'm saying, by the time I calculate all this in my mind, you just pulled $150,000 off the Baltimore City in 3 days. And several months ago, you say you couldn't help me. I can't get no help. This stuff not adding up to me, JayMal. It just wasn't adding up. JayMal, not. And I'm still, oh boy, this past Sunday, oh my gosh, heard them numbers that you documented to the nation last Sunday about how much debt the church was in when you took it over and took it down to half and this, that, and the other. I think when I discovered that these gentlemen can pull $150,000 off of any city, like 150 in 3 days, to me, now you got 362 more days to do that. So is that why we having all of the church visits and this man come here and that man go there? You fleece my sheep, I'm going to fleece yours. Is this about Jesus, or is it about pulling money up off of audience and acting like you hit the lottery? It don't seem like y'all about Christ and giving the people the word for the sake of the word and actually healing people. It don't seem like that's the goal that you all are having, because it's too money centered. Anyway, here's, I guess, a good time to take a station identification break and say that I want to thank Tyler Perry and his alter ego character as Medea. That would be for the sake of Women's History Month, whereas he lets us know that he gains peace, or Medea gains peace, by having her Smith and Wesson, Scarface style. What does he say? You want to play rough? Say hello to my little friend, That's what 50 Cent and them put together. My buddy, wherever I go, he goes, my buddy. But I say, when I sing it for myself, I say, Holy Spirit, wherever I go, I know you go. Holy Spirit. Okay, enough of that. What is some of the other stuff? I'm out of cards here, out of paper documentation of what I wanted to talk about, but I think that I must have hit all of the points that I primarily wanted to hit. I thank you for your time today. I'm going to say this is, I guess, what had happened was part 1. A lot of times I say I'm going to come back and do the part 2 or part 3 or part 4, but life is going on for me, and recovery is going on for me, so hopefully I can do the part 2 and give a longer version with more little details of what had happened was. Before I do go, I did remember that I wanted to say, once I realized that they can pull that kind of money and didn't give me any assistance, my thought process at the time was then, hey, Jonathan, because James Nelson had been at Empowerment Temple for a season as the executive pastor. I say, hey, Jonathan, where's your brother James? Because I'm about sick of this JayMal and feeling like I'm really not cared about at this ministry at Empowerment Temple. So I guess I do have to do a part 2 now, because my season at Destiny, I guess it's all history. Ain't the best history, but it is history. In doing that transition out of being hurt at Empowerment Temple by how I felt I was being treated there. So let me leave on a good note. Bringing back my burnt toast. That might be another reason why I wasn't looking for a husband at the time, because I've been balancing a whole lot of stuff. The good note is to know that if you do know how to cook, that if you burn your toast, you burn another piece and you scrape them together, and you create some bread and filler for some ground beef, add a little egg to it and seasoning. You can hold together and make some meatloaf and and some ground beef hamburgers. But I'm a little disappointed by burning my toast this morning. Y'all have a good day.